Alright, YouTube, what's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Justice coming at y'all with another YouTube read, another energy read. I hope this finds you guys at a clarifying time in your day. Remember to take what resonates and please leave the rest behind. Let's go and get started. I appreciate your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. Angels of the highest white light, please bestow upon me clear and concise channel messaging and protection over this read as I tap into what my collective needs to hear, accommodated with this message, the general one. Thank you, and Ashe. So whoever this is for, you've broken a certain agenda. You've broken a whole agenda. That's kind of what I'm being guided into. There's something about you had enemies that were gathered on contract against you, and there's something about the backfire is significant. And so I'm going into that message. So there's something about a lot of you guys have had people coming into your life with agendas and missionings and with goals and agendas to take from you, to do something harmful to you, to do anything of that nature. A lot of you guys have dealt with, occult abuse and certain systematic oppressions that come from group structures like this. A lot of you guys are purified energies, and a lot of you guys are recognizing the crumbling or the impulsivity of a lot of certain things and actions certain people of those groups are taking for things to get done a certain way. If that's making sense, a lot of you guys understand what your energy plays in full part with that in terms of that purification or that antidote for these types of groups that are needing certain things like this. And when I'm saying that, there's a certain purity a lot of you guys emanate from that can really help somebody in a disposition or enable somebody that's in a disposition of a contractual issue. And I want to get into that, these contractual issues that a lot of people have to stay silent about. I don't really have to do that because I am not under these types of contracts, right? But those people that you see, these celebrities passing away, these celebrities getting exposed, these celebrities getting locked up, it's all a part of a certain contractual issue that they don't usually speak about, but they allude to, they hint at. And so there's a certain level of where this passes down to on a smaller level, right? These celebrities are usually at the top of these groups, right? Because they're just placeholders for a position that'll be rented and sold out and bought again. So a lot of times people at the lower aspects with the ambitions to rise in these types of things, right, will try to do the same thing to rise that these people have done in which they're falling for. Saying this to say, to connect it back to the situation, a lot of you guys deal with these things on a smaller level with people that are contracted to go in your life, whether that's a lover, whether that's a friend, whether that's the friends of a friend, or random people that are connected to that person, connected to a family member, and they're all watching you, or they're all spectating certain parts of you in terms of trying to have a pull at your energy and trying to circle it around in a harvesting loop. These are equations that are breaking down, especially with a lot of you guys being able to illuminate these constructs and having the ancestral protections that you do. A lot of you guys come from real powerful lineages of shamans and things like that, legendary figures, warrior figures, things like that, people that really lived with a real purpose and really walked that walk. And so a lot of you guys are protected by these types of presences, and a lot of times people are not foreseeing that unless they come across you, right? And so this can entice certain peoples in these groupings in a certain way with this energy that you may carry. And so a lot of times they're going to try to, and a lot of you guys have experienced the attempts to try to have a group-like agenda propaganda to spin you around in. And so a lot of these times, a lot of these things, and a lot of times they backfire in such an extreme way with beings like that I'm coming across, because this would work on an average individual. This will work on an average person that's not aware. This will work on somebody that doesn't understand their own connection to self. This will work on somebody that wouldn't understand their connection to source. And so a lot of times they run into issues and bugs with people like you guys. And so it can kind of prolong this process in regards to somebody having a spiritual ego and continuously going at you in a certain discretion that they can keep doing what they do. But the whole trick of the equation is that somebody else is tricking them to keep doing what they do to entice their lust towards you so that they can end in a certain trap that they're not foreseeing. And so this certain trap that they are usually not foreseeing is the same trap that you see a lot of these celebrities falling in every day. And so I'm getting kind of like this towards my throat, right? in terms of what I'm speaking about. But this is a very important message for certain people to understand the agendas and the non-necessities that have a lot of people that are in a necessity moving the way they're doing, as if these types of politics or these situations are a necessity to keep doing to people. A lot of you guys have been put in loops and types of a binding loop that continues replaying the same circumstances or the same spirits through different people, which is connected to an occult issue. And so when you're having these recycled fabrics of your reality keep on replaying to you, especially in a traumatic way, these are trafficking spells. These are trafficking, these are illuminations of a trafficking ring. And so when you're going through certain things with people, big or small, right, in this type of engagement, it's a understanding that you must stay close to source. It's an understanding that you must stay in a high vibration. Witchcraft is not, and these things don't negate your spirit as much when you're in a higher vibration. And so a lot of you guys have been tempted to be spiraled around in something that either traumatizes you, weakens you, or makes you fear something in a way that they can continuously pull that off of you. So using something against you to drain your energy on a constant level is the prerogative of these type of standards. And so if you're aligned with this message, not everybody will be, but you can still just get some information from the message in terms of how to see something or to see and illuminate something. Because a lot of these things are going to be more outdoors in terms of in your face physically, because the impulsivity and the necessity of these things are starting to get to a higher level because of the illumination of the collective consciousness. And so a lot of these groups, I'm not being guided to go in on that, but a lot of you guys have broken through a certain agenda in terms of understanding it and able to make a way for, or illuminate a way for maybe even others or just for yourself to get out of a loop that maybe multitudes of people are spectating you to be in. Things like this. A lot of you guys have understood the cost of speaking on certain things, the quote-unquote cost. And a lot of times these things are about to be lifted nowadays because of the necessity and the amount of things that are coming down at the same time, which means it's the perfect time to kind of speak on certain things that you wouldn't normally be able to speak on. And so a lot of you guys are seeing what's happening in the media, seeing a lot of things just going really out of order and out of just function. But it's an occult standard, especially if you're on the western side of the world. In America, this whole country is ran on an occult system. And so when you understand that, it's like the understanding of the politics behind everything with Trump and everything. It's just politics. And when I say it's not that politics, it's occult politics. A lot of politics itself has to do with the occult. And so when we're looking at these types of fabrics in these situations and you're experiencing certain emanations from them, it's for you to illuminate out of it or illuminate the knowledge or wisdom through it. A lot of you guys are scribes, recording angel kind of presences. A lot of you guys know certain things for some reason that you don't really understand, but you're able to see something that something else through you can see as well. And so a lot of times people don't really want these things to end or these type of engagements to these systems to end, because a lot of times, in a lot of ways on a major level, they really kind of won't, right? In terms of the system that is in place and how it holds itself in place. Like I said, I want to bring something back. A lot of you guys understand that a lot of group things that are done to you are supposed to benefit the group, right? And so when people are coming across your spirit, they're not getting the beneficiary gain that they're getting from everybody else because of your protection of what's around you. A lot of people learn who God is, or that God is real, through beings like you, because something is backing you. And so a lot of people don't want to have that acceptance or that recognition until it happens to them. And so it's an understanding point that a lot of you guys in these type of systems are here to witness the breakdowns and the downfalls of them, right? And I am really kind of like incited to kind of like affirm some of these things in terms of messaging and the awareness of certain people and validating certain things. When you have a lot of spirits that are around you watching you concurrently and it makes you uncomfortable, these monitoring spirits are a collective of energies that are there to make you uncomfortable. It is exactly that. Those monitoring spirits are there to try to cause something to happen in your life or want to see it happen in your life. And that is literally what that is. A lot of you guys are protected from certain things and engagements, and a lot of you guys won't necessarily resonate with specific parts of the message. Remember to take what fits and leave exactly what doesn't. But I see a lot of comments all the time about these types of situations, and it's the same kind of ridiculing thing. And the ridicule comes from the fact that the system is falling, and it's kind of blaming the players that chose to play that game. And so what that happens is it's a downward domino effect, and where somebody's reaching out to somebody else for basically assistance. A lot of times you guys may not recognize it as such. A lot of times you may not recognize that people are really seeking out your energy, maybe even abusing your energy, maybe even bonding to your energy, because they're trying to protect themselves from something that's coming down already. And so that's a perception shift for somebody, because when you're able to see it like that, you're able to get past it a little easier and not be fucked up on the emotionality or attachment to the constructs of emotionality that people may have caused you, right? When you understand the system that is doing what it's doing, right, and allowing the players to fall with the pieces that they claim to in the beginning, it makes it a little more simple, right? So 1111 is coming up. 1109 was the one I was really seeing when I was saying that. So a lot of new beginnings for an ending, a lot of abrupt endings. I've been saying it, 2025 is a year of endings, right? A year of conclusions, a year of cycles being really renewed. And I'm saying these cycles not on a yearly level, but on a generational level. And so a lot of things are coming to the surface and being exposed as just as they are. And it can be a little awe-dropping, or, jaw-dropping is the word. But a lot of you guys are used to these relativities because of what you've already been through. But like I said, to reaffirm to somebody, a lot of you guys are in these types of situations or attempted to be put in these situations because you're going to be the one that sees it crumble. And I think that's my last one. If you need a personal with me, hit up Shamika with a C and Shamika@gmail.com. Other than that, I appreciate your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. I got 20% off of any type of partnership that I have available. Outer Spirit, Amazon Web Services, and Rose Forever New York. If you're interested in 20% off of either one, links will be in the description. But other than that, I'm sending my love and ashe. Peace out, y'all.